To begin with, House of Intellectuals, indeed members of this auditorium, unemployment is the root cause of instability in our society. And the people who are mostly affected are the youths. House of Intellectuals, you will agree with me that the youths are the key stakeholders in any country. Now, if the key stakeholders are not employed, House of Intellectuals, that country will be deemed as a jeopardized. And idleness triggers forth vices. We must survive as we have basic needs that must be met. If there is no sustainable way of surviving, if the government is not providing jobs for the youths, then they will engage into vices which will lead them into crime and other vices which are not to be done in a country. House of Intellectuals, allow me to quote the data reported by the CEIC. In the latest report, Zambia's population reached 18.38 million in December 2020. And Zambia's unemployment rate increased by 12.17 in December 2020, as reported figure of 11.91% in December 2019. I repeat, the unemployment rate increased by 12.17% in December 2020, as reported figure of 11.91 in December 2019. House of Intellectuals, allow me to add fire to the already burning fire. According to Lusaka Times, dated March 17, 2020, begin of quotation, government must prioritize the creation of manufacturing industries which have potential to create youth employment. While this seems better, create youth employment. While this seems better said and done, it is not impossible for the government to accomplish this. House of Intellectuals, the same article continues, and I quote, in the modern Zambia, the youth unemployment rate have escalated to unprecedented levels. House of Intellectuals. While they deceive, we perceive our perceptions in our paths to redemption. Indeed, while there is no vision, the people perish. These words often quoted by the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Mr. Moderator, honorable judges, my esteemed and worthy opponents, my colleague, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening. Tonight is both an honor and a privilege to propose the motion the government should be blamed for the unproductiveness of youths in the society. Affiliates of this session, indeed members of the auditorium, however, this motion is, however, extremely broad, and so the need to clarify the key terms is of paramount importance to this debate. According to the new revised Oxford Dictionary and, of course, Wikipedia, government is simply the body with the power to make and enforce laws to control a country, a land, an area, people, or an organization. To blame is simply to put a fault on someone. Unproductive, not effective in bringing something about. A youth is a person below the age of 35. Mr. Moderator, tonight, my colleague and I will carry you on a thought-provoking journey with 3 checkpoints. We will bring to your attention the major reason as to why we vehemently feel the government should be blamed for the unproductiveness of the youths. Secondly, we will enlighten you how the government are a contributing factor to youth unproductivity in bringing in valid points. And lastly, we will draw attention even more closer by giving you checks and balances on what the government must do.